In this lesson, we will see how to write macro and how to edit macro. And before that, we will recap our lesson 1, that what we have done in lesson 1. So in lesson 1, we have seen how to record macros and macro related with how to add new sheet by recording macro. We have seen how to add tab color. Also, we have seen how to remove tab color, and then we have seen how to hide sheets. So if you have not seen my first video, please go and see my first video, and then we'll see this one. Okay, so and you can download these files in the link. So let me close this workbook. Okay, so in this video we will see how to write macro, and before that we also need to see whether do we have developer tab or not. If this developer tab is not appearing on your computer or on your main tab, then go in file options and customization driven and check on this developer tab, this one, and click OK. So you will have this option available. Okay, under this let me explain you few things like developer. Here you have Visual Basic. Just click on Visual Basic from here, or you can use Alt F11 directly from keyboard. So I'm clicking on this location by using Visual Basic. We have reached to this window, and maybe you, if you don't find these windows available in your computer screen, in that case you can go on View. Under View we can see Project Explorer and Property window. So just click on both. Okay, now adjust according to your requirement. So now you will see something like this. You may also see something extra, other uh, tab or other menu like this, maybe some XLM or some other menus. So just avoid or just ignore those files for now and just focus on book 1. If you have open Excel workbook with book 1, or if you have if by default because of some reason if you have book 2, 3, 4 or 5 any workbook, just make sure you keep only one book to use it. And also you check if there is no workbook open other than one file. Okay, if there are multiple files, just to avoid confusion, please close all the workbook and just keep one workbook open on the screen. You may see some more add-ins available on your computer sometimes. So just to remove those things, maybe you can, what you can do is you can click on com add-ins, and if you see anything checked, just remove those things. Also you can click on add-ins. Maybe you find analysis tool pack or analysis tool pack VBA may checked. Just remove all these check from here and click OK. If you are well aware with all these menus, then don't worry, just leave it. Okay, so let's go to the Visual Basic. This entire window called Visual Basic, Microsoft Visual Basic for application, another word is VBA. So we write all the macros, all the programs inside this window. Okay, so here the main workbook name, whatever name of the workbook where we are writing code. So this workbook name is similar to our Excel workbook name. Okay, so book 1, here book 1. If we save this file, let's save this file. Okay, I'm saving here, and this is lesson 2. Lesson 2. Okay, I click this thing, and now if you see this name, lesson 2 write macro in Excel, so same thing is coming. Now what we have to do next is You also need to be familiar with the options insert. So insert, we can insert user form, we can insert module, and we can insert class module. Same thing we can also insert from here, user form, module, and class module. The first thing that we required to write a macro is module. We will also learn user form and class module later on, but we will start from module. So module is a location where you can write your code. So let me maximize this thing. So make sure you have module, you double click on module. Maybe if you click this workbook, you will get the same screen. If you click on sheet 1, again you will get the same screen. So you won't able to differentiate between the location of sheet 1 or this workbook or module 2. So before going ahead, so if I add more sheets here, you see sheets are increasing at this location. Okay, so don't get confused between this sheet and this sheet. Here you put all your data, and when you click on this, here you can put all the codes. Okay, don't don't think that whatever we are putting here, we also can we put the same thing here. No, that is not possible. Okay, this is for data analyzing, calculation, sum, addition, VLOOKUP, and all this thing. And this location is completely for macros, for VBA coding. Okay, so we whenever we add module, we need to write code in module, not in sheet 1. If you are in sheet 1, because how you will identify whether you are on sheet 1 or which location you are here, just see where this gray color is highlighted. If this is highlighted on sheet 1, it means this location is belongs to sheet 1. If you are on this workbook, it will highlighted as this workbook. So make sure your highlighted gray color should be on module. Okay, so now how to start writing macro. So our macro is always start with sub, and you can give any macro name. So my first, let me say my first macro. Okay, uh, close, open and close bracket, enter. So once you enter, you will automatically get the end part of your macro. So sub will always be start and end sub will always be end. So this is code. This is my syntax to get a window where all these thing will be appearing. So let's run this thing by clicking here. So I'm getting one message box saying welcome to excelmacroclasses.com. Okay, so this was the first macro. This is the first code we have seen. Okay, make sure whenever you put any message, it should be inside double quotation. Okay, so welcome to excelmacroclasses.com once again. I hope you will able to understand how to write your macro. So this is the very simple macro what we have run. Okay, now we will try to run another macro. So that will give me a calculation. So let's see how it is working. So sub add two numbers. It will reflect as it is. But when we are removing these double quotes, it is calculating and giving us the result. 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and see some other types of calculation as well. Sub, it should always be start from sub. So make sure whenever you write your code, it should be sub, and again add numbers. Bracket open, bracket close, enter. Make sure this name should not be repeat anywhere, otherwise it will generate error. So this is different thing. Even a single spelling change is making macro name different. Okay. Now here what we have done, we have directly calculated 2 plus 2 in message box. Now what we will do, we will use variables. Okay. Now you may get confused or you may not know what is variables. So I'm talking about variables. Okay. Variable is a character, alphabet, or anything, or any spelling where you can store value. Okay. So I'm saying I. If I is a variable, then I need to store some value in this. So I equals to 10. Okay. Now what I am saying is this 10 number is going to store in this. So in macro or in VBA programming, if you see anything on left hand side and there is a equals to sign and there is something, it means this value is going inside this one. So data is mm, going from right to left. Okay, so data is going from right to left. How data is going? So let's make one thing here like this. So this 10 is going and sitting in I. Okay, so now I is also equals to 10. Another variable I will take. You may get confused that I have not defined I in my program if you know macros. So at this moment we will not define anything because our macro is so dynamic and so powerful at this moment. For beginner, it is not required to define. It understand automatically based on the value what we are providing. So next value I will say j, and j equals to 20. Okay, make sure you don't put double quotation. Okay, simple 20. Now we have two variable, one is I, another one is j. Now we want to add this 10 with 20. Normally I understand 10 plus 20 is equals to 30. But in programming, in macro, we'll see how this calculation is working. I can write message box and I can say space I plus j. Okay. Now let's run and see what is happening. It is coming 30. This is perfectly fine and correct answer. So this was our third macro what we have write, and we have seen how I plus j is working. We can also write this macro in different method. So let's write the another one, saying again sub add numbers. I'm writing just one, so it will change the name of the macro. Okay, now I will take everything same from here, and I will take one more variable, but at this time I will say uh, ijk, k equals to I plus j. Okay, write a message box msgbox equals to k. Now what is going to be happen? I will store value 10, j will store value 20, and k will store I plus j, that is 10 plus 20. Okay, and we'll see the k value in message box. This message box is a pop-up where you get all the values here. If you see here, we have not put any double quotation, but in beginning we have put double quotation. So the difference is we don't want to present or show k as a text in my message box. Okay, so right now it is coming 30. Okay, if I put double quotation here and I try to execute, it means the k as a text coming. It is not giving any value inside k. Whenever you have a variable, it means we don't require double quotation. Whenever we put in double quotation, this program will print as it is whatever is written in double quotation. So right now we have a value of some value in k, so we don't need double quotation to print because we don't want k to be print. We want value of k should be print. Okay. Similarly, we will see some more calculations with subtraction, multiplication, addition, and all these things. So sub my calculation bracket open close enter. Now I want these two things to be remain same, and also okay, another thing is it is not necessary to take just single character. You can take multiple but without space. So let me say I'm taking another value is ans answer, and answer equals to I multiply j message box ans. Now 10 into 20, it should be 200, I believe. Okay, so let's check if this is working. Okay, so this is giving me right output. So now I hope you understand these are the variable where you store some value. Another question you may ask me, whether do we only store numbers? The answer is no. You can store numbers, you can store text, you can store alphanumeric, but the calculation will only happen on numbers. If you try to calculate this kind of calculation between text, you may get error. So let's go and see some other macros and check how other things are working. So sub my calculation underscore one. I can use underscore one, underscore two, underscore three because just to differentiate names. So I equals to 10, j equals to 20, and k equals to, I'm giving some text and I'm putting my name Ajit Prasad. Now in answer I can use this variable in my message box saying msgbox message box k. Let's see what is coming as a result. Ajit Prasad. Now I want another variable called answer ans equals to I multiply again I want 2 times I, so 10 into 10 multiply j. Okay, so this is 10, this is another 10, and this is 20. So 10 into 10 100, 100 into 20 should be 2000. So let me write the same thing here. but this will not be code like this. So just for the value is which is going to execute here in this line, that will be like 10 multiply 10 and multiply 20. Okay, and result is coming just Ajit Prasad. So now what I want answer also with this statement, but this is giving me error. Why? Because I am using two variables. K is also having some value, and that value is this one. This K is this, and answer is also having some values. Both are having some value, so you cannot write two variables without any space, without any connection. So you need to use and you can write it. Okay. So K means Ajit Prasad and ANS answer means this one, that is equals to 2000. So the result will come like Ajit Prasad 2000. Ajit Prasad 2000. Now if you notice here, this result is coming very close to the name. We need some space between these things. So this is my code, and let me write one more time, paste. I am just blocking this code so you can understand what was the earlier code and what has been changed. So this single apostrophe, again I'm telling you, just to block the comment. Okay, so it is making this code disabled, and now this whenever this entire program is going to execute, it will not consider this code to execute. Okay, so let's this and this, there is no space, so what we will do, we will add manual space. So K is having some value, ANS is also having some value, and to combine these two variables we are using ampersand. And so what we will do, whenever we need to combine something, we need to use and. So now let me clear this thing. K, okay, so K and, because K is having Ajit Prasad and I need a space after that. So one thing is I can do is I can add one space here, that will also solve my problem. So let me show that. Okay, because I have added space here, so this entire thing will be inside K. Ajit Prasad 2000. But actually this is not the right solution. So what I'll do is I'll make some changes here. K and what? And I want in double quotation, it's a blank. There is a space because I need to add K and space. In K, there is Ajit Prasad and space. It will be like Ajit Prasad space. After that, again we need to put and, because we need to use ANS variable. Okay, so in K, Ajit Prasad will be stored. There is a space and then answer. Okay, Ajit Prasad. Now, what we can do is we can also make some changes in this space, and I want double quote and saying like this and execute. So now Ajit Prasad, if you say double quotation, oh sorry, colon and then hyphen. Now what I want, whatever answer is coming, it will just next to these values. So I'll make some more space. So I will get the right thing, Ajit Prasad colon hyphen 2000. In case if you have some symbol to be add, So maybe you can say USD and again use this one, the USD 2000. If you want to place instead of USD, you can also use dollar sign. So